guys, what's going on? Parker here from Private Media alongside
Alicia James with Flamingo Consulting.
And welcome to a very special episode of Michigan Marketing in the Morning. So on this show, normally what we do is we bring on local entrepreneurs that are super mission driven, have a killer business, killer offer, and we have them tell their story and basically talk about, what they do, why they do it, how they do it, all that good stuff. Then we take a deep dive into their marketing and give them a full 6 to 12 month marketing plan on the fly on the show. And this morning, we have Jonathan Mast from Whitebeard Strategies. And today we're going to talk a lot about AI and marketing and all that sort of stuff. But before we do, Jonathan, tell us what you do.
Well, I just want to know why I'm not getting the free marketing plan. I mean, come on, that's why I signed up.
I mean, because I'm pretty sure your AI could school us in marketing plans. Let's be honest.
I agree.
No, it's all right, guys. My name's Jonathan. I have spent the last, decade plus in the digital marketing world. I love to laugh. I sold my first website in 1995. So I've earned all this white hair and decided a couple of years ago to get out of the agency business when AI came on the scene through ChatGPT's interface. It's been around for a long time, but really saw just huge things. I'm one of those ADD visionary entrepreneurs, and I needed the ability to get things done. And AI lets me get crap done.
I love that. And then you've spent really the last few years that I've known you teaching other people how to do the same thing. That there's enough of us really, really unfocused entrepreneurs that can't keep it all together. And you're teaching the rest of us how to handle it and how to continue to build.
No offense, aren't we all unfocused and visionaries?
I'm pretty sure that's
you saying I'm not normal?
I'm pretty sure that it's a requirement in order to be an entrepreneur. If you're not a freaking mess, I'm pretty sure you can't do this.
Which is why I love working with entrepreneurs. And that's why AI is so cool, because AI gives us that ability. I'm all about getting shit done. I want to get stuff done. Mm-hmm. Speed implementation. I'm a firm believer. You may not agree with me, but I'm a firm believer. Money follows speed. And
I don't disagree. I mean, done is better than perfect.
Thank you. And I've always believed that, but now I can get really close to perfect really fast with AI. Mm-hmm. And when I leverage it. Now, I should be clear though. AI is not a magic bullet. A lot of people go, oh, this is a silver bullet. No. My dad spent his entire life looking for one. I watched him do it. There are no silver bullets in life. Mm-hmm. But AI amplifies your skill and experience. So you and I have marketing backgrounds. Oh, you're still in marketing more than I am. But I mean, it amplifies our experience. So let's just say hypothetically, I'm a 7, you're an 8. I'm going to pick on Parker because he's not using AI as much. And so Parker's a 5. But if Parker would it's video, it's the other way around. So I should probably do that. That'd be fair. So, let's talk video marketing. Parker's at 9.5. Mm-hmm. I'm a 5.
I'm like a 3.
But I could use AI to amplify my skill with video marketing, even though it's less than Parker's, to maybe get up to Parker's level. But the difference is if Parker uses AI, he's through the roof. Mm-hmm. And that's where I think the power of AI comes in. It doesn't mean that I can be a schmuck and figure out how to do my job.
Yeah.
Because I can't. 0 times anything. We learned this in middle school. Still zero. At least I think it was middle school. That's a long time ago. But 0 times anything is 0. Mm-hmm. Let's say AI amplifies times 3. If I'm a 1, oh great, I get to a 3. If I'm a 5, I get to a 15. Ooh, that beat Parker's 9.5. Mm-hmm. But if Parker does it, he's now a 30.
Yeah.
And I just kick my butt again.
So, and I think we need to be really clear, because over the last couple of years, I keep hearing from especially businesses that are more price sensitive. It costs money to hire an agency. It costs money to hire a marketer.
Absolutely.
Right? But we're hearing more and more that, well, what do I need you for? I can just use AI.
Sure.
You certainly can. Is it as simple, and I know the answer, is it as simple as I go to ChatGPT and say, write me 10 social media posts?
You can get 10 social media posts if you do that. They're going to suck. They're not going to appeal to your audience. They're not going to get people to reach out to you. They're not going to convert. Let's face it, when we come to social media, the only reason we do social media is to get attention.
Yes.
I don't post for any other reason. I'm sorry if you think you're humble. I'm humble, but I post to get attention. Yeah. Especially when it's my business. That means I want conversions. I want people to go and go, dang, Jonathan's brilliant about this AI stuff. I want to talk to him. Mm-hmm. That's why I post on social media. If I'm posting a picture of my grandson, I was out and saw him the other day. He was on my shoulders. I posted a picture of it. Why? Because I wanted to celebrate. And I'm really geeked to be a grandpa and have a grandson that's sitting on my shoulders. I wanted people to go, oh, isn't that cute?
He's a grandpa. Like, you want it.
So, yes,
anybody
there was
who says
a purpose.
they don't want attention is lying.
So, thank you.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be posting there, because if you didn't want it, you wouldn't even be there.
So you can create crap with AI just like you can create crap anywhere else. But if we use it to amplify, so I'm going to jump to the end story for everybody that wants to, you need a marketing person or agency that gets AI. That will get you the best value. You trying to do this is like me trying to be a heart surgeon. God forbid, Parker, that you have a heart attack in here, because even with ChatGPT, I can't likely save your life.
Nope.
Because I have no experience as a heart
For the
doctor.
record, I'll just call 911 and watch.
Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah. I'll look at ChatGPT and go, I don't know how to do that. So, yes, I mean, I could ask, what can I do to give CPR? But I could actually kill Parker in the process if I did it the wrong way. That doesn't mean AI is dangerous. It just means I have to be responsible. Guess what? We're adults, folks. Okay? We can make decisions. Sorry, I get a little finicky when people are like, oh, but it's evil and I shouldn't trust it. It might make a mistake. Have you ever not made a mistake?
Way more times than I care to admit.
Go to the library and you see there's two books, one that's pro and one that's con. Guess what? AI was trained on both of those, and nobody told it which one to believe.
It's completely, it's unbiased, which I think is really amazing. And, when we talk about bringing on or using AI as an agency, a lot of times, I've even brought it up that I use it. I use it as a starting place, and it's a great thing to look at. And sometimes it's great to just kind of unload your ideas and go, okay, how do I tie these things together? Right. Yeah. That's an amazing concept. And that's what it's there for. It's like talking to myself in a good way instead of all the crazy voices in the head. Right. And I think that we don't talk about those ones. Those ones hopefully don't ever end up on AI. But I think that's where the power comes in is, to your point, it's taking me times 10.
Right.
Instead of, me just trying to muddle through and just doing okay. Like, I'm a good marketer. I really am. Can I be better? Always. Are there people better than me? Absolutely. AI allows me to be better. And as an agency, we should be using that. Any agency who says they're not is probably not doing things in your best interest. They're just digging their heels in.
Yeah. Thank you.
Or they're lying.
One of my friends is one of the best, at least I'm biased, but he's one of the best ad guys I've ever met in my life. And he's about messaging. He just got done writing 2 Super Bowl ads for that are coming up for February. I mean, this guy's the real thing. Ken uses AI because it takes his 40 years of experience and now allows him to do a campaign in significantly less time and often with better results. He and I actually just did a joint webinar the other day. It was really cool. He showed people, here's how I brainstorm with AI, and here's how I go through. Guess what? He didn't use everything AI gave him, but it shortened that discovery process, that brainstorming process so much that he was able to come up with those amazing taglines that he does in, I don't know exactly how much less time, but certainly in half the time that it used to take him. So now instead of doing 1 Super Bowl ad a year, because that's all the capacity he and his small agency has, now he can do 2.
And that doubles his revenue.
And his clients are thrilled because even if he charges a little bit less to do it, to deliver more value to them, he's going to make 80% more money.
Absolutely.
He's going to have twice as many happy clients. And his clients know, by the way, these are national or international brands. You know how expensive Super Bowl ads are. I mean, this is not for any of us in this room, not when you're spending millions of dollars a second.
Yeah.
They want him to use AI.
Because they want it to be right.
Thank you.
That is, yeah. Are you actually going to speak in this podcast?
Yeah. So,
hey, Parker, how are you?
Well, welcome. This is Michigan Marketing in the Morning.
Yeah. I keep thinking about this. My favorite thing in the world since AI has come about and we've started using it on social, that we now can see when people are using AI in their posts.
Oh, and it is really enjoyable, honestly, as a marketer to kind of look and see like, oh, I know that was written by ChatGPT.
Yeah, and it's not, by the way, for the audience, this is not like the like made with AI, tag thing. It's, we can tell when they're made with AI. So I had this borderline argument with a prospect the other day about this. Because he's like, well, we use ChatGPT a little bit to help write posts and stuff. I said, no, you used it to write every single fucking post that you've made. And he's like, well, AI should know. Like, AI should know, like, how to do this better than I do because I'm not a marketer.
Are you okay? I feel like that's, like, the biggest insult that anybody can say is AI should know.
Yeah.
So, the first thing I want to say is to everybody going, yeah, that's why we can't use AI because we're going to know. First of all, nobody gives a rat's butt whether you used AI or not.
Except marketers. And it's really just more of a form of entertainment for us.
What they do care about is whether the message resonates.
Exactly.
And what I bet this client didn't do is they probably never trained it on their brand style, their tone.
No, they went into ChatGPT 3.5 and went in and said, write me 20 social media posts.
They probably used the free version on top of that. Yeah. You get crap in, crap out, plain and simple. Yep. I've got a brilliant 17-year-old that doesn't know anything about marketing, but he's brilliant. Just ask him. And by the way, he is. I'm not taking anything away. So if you're watching the Xander, nothing taken away from you. But he's not a marketing guy.
Sure.
But if I asked him to write me 10 social media posts, he could do it.
Sure.
And they'd be coherent.
And they would be about the business. They would have the business name.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what ChatGPT 3.5 free is going to do for you.
Yeah.
It's no different. The example I always give is, let's imagine, we need to include him a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Let's imagine you and I are going to collaborate on a project, and we're in an office. Imagine that in the old days. We're actually in an office. And I walked over to your cubicle, and I'm like, hey, let's talk about this social media campaign we're going to run. And you go, great. Got a couple questions. And I turn around and walk away and go, nope, I don't got time to talk to you. We're doing a social media campaign. You take care of it. Yep. How good do you think that campaign's going to be? Unless you know what's in my mind, and by the way, I don't even know in there, so there's no chance you know what's in there. Mm-hmm. Unless we collaborate, unless I give you background information, unless I set my expectations, unless I say, oh, by the way, I want this to be short and punchy, or I want this to be professional, or whatever, you're not going to write something that works for what I wanted. Right. But yet we assume that I can go use AI. You just said it, your client said, but it should know. No, it doesn't know. And so if I don't give it any context, I don't give it any background, I'm going to get shit. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be any good. It's quick. Mm-hmm. So the good news is if you want to create crap content, use AI because you can do it really quickly.
You can do a lot of crap really, really quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It'll save you a lot of time. It won't ever make you any money, though, and it won't build your credibility, and it won't drive your target audience to you to spend money. And that's why we do marketing. Yeah. We do our marketing to bring more clients in, to make us more money. You and I were talking just prior to this, I don't know, it's a roofer or an eaves company or whatever that you're working with, a gutter company. That's it. Sorry, I can't remember. And how a simple change that you made, that you had the thought to do, generated 9 leads for him over the last couple of days. Yeah. When he hasn't had any leads in months from his other company. He just started working with you.
That'll turn into sales.
Yeah.
By the way.
So that's why he hires marketing companies, not because he wants somebody to tell him, oh, well, we need to do some social posts and maybe we should do a webinar and, we could do a little video here. Yes, that's all good, but you have to do it the right way in a manner that appeals to your audience. And when you're starting off with AI, if you just go into ChatGPT 3.5, the free version, and go, so can you create me 10 social media posts I'm a gutter company. It's going to create, it will, but they're not going to do anything for you.
Exactly. And I mean, my favorite reference when we talk about marketing and branding and targeting is toilet paper, right? It is one of the most universally used products in the United States. In theory, I hope at least anyway. But the different qualities, the different brand voices, the different attributes that make each brand special and different and make you pick one versus another are they're across the board. So if I go into 3.5 and I go say, write me 10 social media posts about toilet paper, it will talk about attributes that could apply to any of the brands, or it's going to be completely generic. And that's not helpful.
No.
And if I want to go sell Charmin, then I have to talk about what makes that one special. If we have not taught AI to do that, it's just, oh, hey, toilet paper wipes your ass. Yeah. Well done.
General information, it's great at. It'll know the general information. It can talk about 2-ply and 1-ply and the really cheap stuff and how it feels and the really good stuff, and hopefully it's better. But if I'm Costco and I'm trying to sell my Kirkland brand or whatever, I want to be able to reference why people want to buy Kirkland versus why they want to buy Charmin.
But if it doesn't know the difference between Kirkland and something else, you have to teach it. Yeah. And I think
it's
that's
like
the
a new
part
employee.
It is. Well, and we were talking about this earlier, that there is so much power in training AI using somebody's skill set. We know that really, really common now is people moving from job to job.
Yeah.
But what if you could capture somebody's experience, somebody's great work, somebody's essentially their mind and the things that they've developed for you. And when they left, there was still something left. It wasn't just like, oh, well, she packed up her desk and now we don't have a marketer. We've almost created a pseudo marketer to help fill in until you can bring in and onboard somebody else. This can be a stand-in. You still need a person. You still need a discerning eye to figure out what's good and not good and throw away the bad ideas. But you don't lose momentum 100% as soon as somebody walks away. So God forbid somebody goes on vacation. How dare you leave? How dare you go for months on end, right? Instead, we have the option to carry over knowledge and be able to use a lot of different knowledge in different ways and combine it all together using AI, so long as you train it.
Well, the key is we can do that today with the tools we have today. I can spend a day with you and I can create a custom trained AI avatar that will do the vast majority of what you're capable of doing from a knowledge standpoint. Yeah. Do I still need a human being, somebody with a brain to run it? Yes, I do, because I've got to still ask the right questions.
Okay, so what time are we starting that? Because I keep joking that I need to clone myself.
But now you literally can. You literally can.
Can you imagine being able to clone yourself?
I'm
it's terrifying
just
if you think
about it right now. Yeah.
Like seriously, what time are we starting?
But I mean, imagine you and I both run small agencies, different focus. But imagine the ability to have your Alicia trained avatar that now your team has access to. So when they're working with a client and they go, "What would Alicia do?"
What's the policy here?
The first question, instead of going, "Hey Alicia, what would we do?" Which isn't good for you because you need to be focused on other things in the business to grow the business. Focused on the business, not in the business.
Yep.
Now, all of those things that are you being in the business, or at least the 80% of them, your team can do with this custom avatar.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about weeks of time. Literally, you and I sit together for a day, it'd be done.
That's amazing.
I'm just so fascinated right now.
He's like, we were going to talk AI. I didn't know we could do all this shit.
Right. I am definitely going down the rabbit hole after this, just to figure all of that shit out.
I think that's the part that we need to make sure that people understand though, is it's not quick.
No.
It's fast. A day of being able to essentially clone my brain is fast. But you have to take a whole day.
But you have to
invest the time to start it. It doesn't just magically happen. You don't put in 25 prompts and all of a sudden it understands you. It doesn't do that.
This is not about taking something that took me 4 hours to do yesterday and doing it in a minute today. It's something that took you 4 hours to do a week ago, and now we can do in 30 minutes. And during that last week, we had to do some training. Yeah. But if we do that, then we can leverage it. Think of, as every business owner, we've all got repetitive tasks that happen. We just designed one for a company. They're in the mortgage industry. They're in the wholesale side. So they get tons of applications in, and there's always technical issues. We're just finishing up designing an avatar that's been trained on what all of the things are it needs to look for, so that when that application, which comes in, which by the way is always electronic nowadays.
Always, thank goodness.
So it's always in the same format, so it's really easy. Can look and find out, Parker forgot to sign this area, or we don't have an income verification. We got to get that. So something that used to all be humanized now is being happened by AI. Here's the cool thing, though. People go, but people are going to lose their jobs. Okay, chill out. People lose their jobs. Okay? I live in an Amish community up in Fremont. There's no buggy whip manufacturers. There were, in the 1800s, there were buggy whip manufacturing factories. They don't exist anymore, folks, because we don't need them. And I'm glad I don't have to deal with all the horse crap, literally, because of it.
Yeah.
Will people lose their jobs? Yes. Are a lot of people going to lose their jobs? No. Are jobs going to change? I
think that's the part that is getting lost. Is it's not, where there is the chance of job loss, but it's job shift, job change. It's adaptation to what's happening in society or what's happening in life.
Absolutely. You guys are too young to remember, but I was around when the PC got put on the desk. And I saw plenty of people, I was just getting into my career at that point, go, I'm not going to use that thing because my typewriter works just fine. I don't need a word processor.
And now that word processor is literally in your hand and can do 1,000 other things.
I don't even have to type now. I can just talk.
Right.
But those people, we didn't worry that, oh my God, Aunt Susie's going to lose her job because she's not willing to use a word processor. No, she learned how to use a word processor. The company paid for training. They came in and they said, look, you can type 80 words a minute on a typewriter. Imagine what you could do on a word processor. And I know you don't make mistakes, Alicia, but the rest of us that make mistakes, we can fix them really quick, and you don't need whiteout on the screen anymore.
And it doesn't take, a minute to reset and getting yourself back in line with the word.
And life didn't end. We didn't have bread lines on the street because of PCs. Some things people are predicting with AI. It's a shift. And I want to tell you, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you need to get on that shift now before your competition does, or they're going to eat your lunch. I didn't look at you, Parker. Really, I didn't.
Oh, no. I did. 100%. Like, you hear this? I just, so even thinking about your business, what is one thing that in a dream world AI would be amazing for? Because, I'll be honest, I use it. I don't use it well. I don't use it often. I know there's opportunities. I know the things that I could learn from you are mind-blowing. So what would be one thing that you would love to automate or love to have AI help you with?
Well, there's two things. Editing, copywriting.
Oh.
Both of those. Now, the editing I know less about, but your editing, this is a prime example. Your editing skills are still going to be needed. You've got a style, but there are tools out there now that you can train AI to do 80% of that repeatable work. So, prime example, super simple one. I've said or at least a dozen times during this, and you're probably going to train that out. Do you know there's an app right now that I use that literally I upload my video, and the first thing I do is it goes and grabs all those filler words. Mm-hmm. So when I go sorry, I'm causing you editing work now. I know that, but
he's not editing that. I'm just not a principal now
because it won't make sense. But I now have an AI tool, by the way, that I pay $30 a month for, that I can upload an entire podcast episode to and go remove all the filler words. And 2 to 3 minutes later, all the filler words are gone. All the gaps have been done. They've either filled them with blank space if it's been short enough, or it's smart enough to know that Jonathan just did that for 30 seconds. So now we need to actually cut that out.
And
that's just
what is this program? Because we use Autopod as a jump cut editor and for multicam podcasts and stuff. We use it for this because honestly, I couldn't do this every 2 weeks by myself without some sort of help. Yeah,
I've got a Superman hat that'll help.
A cape?
No, just a hat. Just a hat.
Oh, all right.
Well, damn it.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, I would love for and there's been talk about this in the video community where they're going to I just see this happening where you make an app that just says, okay, I need you to take a video of these 3 things around your office. Okay, that's your hook. Mm-hmm. Now, we need you to say these 3 different things about the problem that you solve within your business. Then I need you to go take these 5 shots around your office that relate to this thing. Puts it into the problem section. Mm-hmm. Same thing for solutions, same thing for proof, same thing for the call to action. And it produces the entire okay video for you.
And we'll take okay. Yeah. I mean, and that's where, if you want to go from okay to amazing, you then step in and you do the final edit, you do the final tweak, or go, you know what, I don't like this one. Actually, I need you to go get this instead.
Right.
Then it becomes, you get to become the consultant for that, but the automation for that is so much faster. And you've got somebody who's got an entry level then, and you're still making cash off it.
Because unless you love doing video editing, and that's okay if you do, you shouldn't be doing that in your business. You should be running your business. Mm-hmm. Unless you love writing copy, and you may.
No.
Okay. But then you shouldn't be writing
copy.
Be writing it. And that's where AI comes in. Anything that you do repeatedly, we can do AI and automation together. Mm-hmm. So one of the things we do, for example, we do AI-assisted content marketing. Is it the same as what you can do in content marketing? No, it's not. No. But it's cheaper and faster, and it's better than nothing.
100%.
Much better than nothing.
Yeah.
It gets you 80% of the way there. Okay, and I'll be the first one to admit it's an 80% solution at 50% cost, so everybody wins.
Yeah.
But one of the things we do is once we write an article, we then automatically have that article through automation sent over to a custom trained social media avatar that writes 3 social media posts about that article or that blog post with the hooks and everything else, and puts those into a Google Doc. We then send it to a custom trained video script editor. Now, it's not Parker. Parker would do better. I'm going to be very clear. Parker would do better. But that designs a 150 word script, because that means I can pull this out and I can do a quick reel. I know, don't shoot me, Parker. Okay, I get it. And all of that is automated. So once the article is written, that happens automatically. And literally about 3 minutes after the article is written, there's in their folder appears the social media post and appears the video script that they're supposed to put up. Now, we still use humans. I call it AI assisted because we still use humans in that process. Yeah. I still have a copywriter that goes through and goes, oh yeah, this could be a little better. But what's faster? Oh, here's an article that you now have to go write 3 social media posts and a video script for. Or here's the article, here's the 3 social posts, and here's the video script. We need you to edit them.
And I mean, and then all of a sudden a blog that turns into content, that turns into a video, that in a normal world would take weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, between getting on somebody's schedule or calendar, getting everything done, getting the right, like it all of a sudden takes weeks, and you've just cut it down to an afternoon.
And the key is, I want to stress, with a trained AI model. This isn't just we're not using ChatGPT 3.5. There's nothing wrong with it, by the way. Even 3.5, well trained.
It's a good start.
If you want to write a blog post and have 3.5 write you each paragraph of the blog post that you go through and you give it, it'll do a pretty darn good job. Yeah. But if you go, write me a 800-word blog post, it's going to puke. Literally. And it's going to read like that when you try to read it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
all of a sudden I want all the automations and all the AI. I'm like,
Same.
I want everything. Well, and I think that makes us big nerds. I'm pretty sure.
He just came on the podcast to sell us.
No.
I'm in.
No,
Insane.
not at all. But
just take my card. Just take the money.
I want to encourage you, if you're listening to this and you're not using AI, Parker, he uses it, folks. I'm just really picking on him today. But if you're listening and you go, just get started with brainstorming.
Yes.
Or how many of us have had a slightly cantankerous client send us an email that maybe requested something that was outside of scope, but yet we knew they didn't want to pay for it. And we had to nicely tell them, no, here's our guardrail. And I know I struggle sometimes to be nice in those emails because I have to take the time to do that. And I don't really want to take the time to explain that wasn't included in your project. And I'd be happy to do it, but it's going to cost you more money.
Yeah.
And I struggle with that. But you know what? AI is great at it. I just had it happen literally yesterday. Client that working with out of Peru. He's thrilled with the results. We created a custom avatar.
Love it.
Now he wants to add automation to it. But up front in the proposal, he said, no, I don't want the automation. So instead of doing what I normally would do, I go, oh crap, he wants it for free. I know he wants it for free. He wants it included. I just sent it to ChatGPT and sent him a copy of the proposal. And I said, he wants automation. We've included in the original proposal, which he declined. Please let him know we'd love to do this and please refer to the original proposal. It wrote the entire email back. Sounded great, sounded pleasant. Thanked him for everything that he'd done. I spent less than 30 seconds editing that before I pressed the send button.
I think we need to talk about one important thing. If you do not know your business, you don't know your vision, you don't understand, or you haven't defined it, AI will never get you even 80%.
No.
So what do we need to know? What does a business owner need to know if they want to harness AI and build some of these things? What do they need to know about themselves?
It's also fucking appalling to me that that's even a problem.
Well, but understand how many, I mean, in the business owner's defense, imagine how many people leave a crap job because they're really good at what they do. Maybe they're a great pipe fitter. I don't know. I'm picking something on there. And they're an expert pipe fitter. They know everything about pipe. They could embarrass you and I about pipe. They're not branding experts. That's not what they do. They've probably never spent more than 3 minutes thinking about who their audience is. Their audience is just people that have paid them before to do jobs, the same companies. But so many business owners are in that boat because they're experts at what they do. They're not necessarily expert business people. And by the way, that's not a problem if you're watching this.
That's great because it makes you a phenomenal pipe fitter.
Exactly.
That's why we should hire you.
And
we just don't know that we should hire you.
There's tons of riches in the niches. We know that. So you need a brand, and a big part of that brand is understanding your audience. You and I have both had this. We've never talked about it, but I know we've both had this problem. We come up with a campaign to fit the audience, and the owner says, but I don't like that. Are you the audience?
All the time. All the time.
And that's what mistakes so many business owners make, because they go, well, it's not what I like.
You're not your target. Oh, we had this conversation a month ago.
But unless you're your target audience, it doesn't matter. Now, I don't want you to hate it as a business owner, because you can't get behind it. But it has to appeal to your audience. You and I were talking before as we were kibitzing. It's like imagery. I'm not a branding expert, so let me be very clear. I'm not a branding expert. Alicia, branding expert. Okay?
I'm pretty good. I like to think I'm pretty good.
She's really good. I'm not. But we had a conversation about the fact that I can't believe how many people I talk to that go, oh, so I can go to Dolly and have it create images for me. I can go to Midjourney, or I can go to... Sure, you can.
Yeah. It'll make an image.
Those same people, though, come to me all the time and go, why do your images always look this on brand? Why do they have that same feel? Because I was purposeful about it. The same way that you would teach a client that when you, not only do you have a logo and you have brand colors and a font that you use, don't use the wrong font, because that's not your brand. Okay?
Right. Don't deviate.
Do that. Yeah,
please.
don't do that.
Stop it.
But that's like me going, well, I'm going to create a cartoon Pixar style image. Now I'm going to do a photorealistic image. Now I think I'd like to do a digital ink drawing. If I do that all the time, nobody can resonate with what I'm doing.
And more importantly, it questions your own credibility, because you don't even know.
Yeah, you can't make up. I don't want to work with you. You can't even make up your mind.
Well, you're an amazing pipe fitter, but I can't tell, because I can't tell if it's you or it's somebody else when I'm in speed scroll, which is really how 90% of consumers are taking in information.
Absolutely.
We have a 3 second, less than 3 second attention span.
I was going to say, you're a marathon runner.
I know. I was going to say that's a long attention span, but honestly, it takes that much work, and then that consistency. Like even seeing the graphics that you create, the images that you create, if you go in and say, I want a picture of a person doing plumbing.
Yeah.
Great. You're going to probably get generic man in blue coveralls doing it. It becomes a generic stock image. When we need something more specific, we want it to look more artistic, or we want it to look more realistic, or all of these definitions, it has to be in there. It has to be plugged in, but you have to know what you stand for, what the image should look like. And that becomes a decision point before AI is ever involved.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, AI can help in your marketing, but to give AI and just hand it off and say it's going to get it, and to say, have AI try to design that for you, good luck. I mean, that's not its role. That's not what it's good at. Now, I've used AI to come up with my brand imaging for a new company that I just bought. Sure. But I spent 3 hours creating images and going, no, I don't like that. I want this, blah, blah, and thinking about it, working with my team, going, again, always, who's our audience? Mm-hmm. What do they want to see? This got us closer. This didn't get us closer. The problem is people don't want to take that 3 hours.
Right.
By the way, I did an hour-long video. You watch. It's the most boring video I've ever done. But I put it up on YouTube, and it's got a ton of views. Why? I'm literally just walking through the process to show you. It's a slog. It's an arduous process. But if you don't spend that 3, 6, 8, whatever hours to go through that and define that, now you don't have a style. And before you say it doesn't matter, right? Quick story. I'm a Pixar cartoon guy. I love Pixar images. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She goes, it's not professional.
And it shows through. It's a whole, it's consistent. It's always that.
But so what's really cool about it is I post all my images are Pixar style, or it's a selfie photo of me. It's one of the two. That's it. And normally it's Pixar. I had another coach that I partnered with, and he liked them. So he started creating similar images. He's over in the Philippines. So you think, long ways away, right? No big deal. He stopped after 2 weeks. And I'm like, Jeff, what happened to all the really cool images? He goes, people kept thinking it was you, so I stopped.
That's awesome.
And
that's the value of a brand image. So now I don't have a trademark on that style, but I've created a consistent, repeatable image. And yes, I use Midjourney to create all of them, but it has become part of my brand, but it's done so intentionally and on purpose.
And even the brand recognition alone. I mean, that is the goal of marketing, is brand recognition and brand acceptance to move into sale. Yeah. Brand recognition comes from that consistency and the fact that he went to use a similar style and they were like, are you stealing his shit?
That's exactly what happened.
And that is exactly what you would hope for when you're building a brand. If somebody duplicates it or has something similar, they look at it and go, well, that's McDonald's. Why are you taking McDonald's shit?
Yeah, it's like if I started using Mickey Mouse and people going, why? But it was even better because he wasn't using the same image. He was just using the same style.
I Love this.
And he's in a different industry, and people still are like, you steal that shit from Jonathan?
I mean, because like if someone were to like, start making reels and they just opened up a marketing agency and it's this crazy loud lady with short blonde hair with a bunch of fucking pink in the background, I'd be a little weary, you know?
Or like if there's an obnoxious red logo with black behind somebody who looks like they're 12, I'm immediately going to think that it's Prime Edge. I mean, if you're going to take a stab at mine, I'm totally digging at yours.
No, it's,
Well, you gotta admit, it used to be 11, so I mean, we're making progress.
He's getting a little bit older.
Yeah, we're making progress.
So, sidebar. When we went
But
to
you guys
New
are not picking
Orleans.
on my logo. That's what I'm happy about.
Oh no, we're coming to you next.
Okay, go ahead.
Not to worry.
I got broad shoulders.
I'm gonna actually start. I'm gonna start wearing a white beard. I think for all of my podcasts.
You can do
all
that.
Of the
That's
podcasts,
cool.
I think
it's a great idea.
Next time.
You're on the team. I love it.
I'm in.
I embrace it.
So when we were in New Orleans last week, so the group that I was with were like in their 40s and 50s. No one asked for my ID. They looked at the table and they said, "Is he 21?" And I thought about it and I'm like, well, if they were trying to sneak me in, they're the wrong people to ask, right? But like, I guess they're thinking like, well, they could be his mom. So, I just thought that was wild.
But it is funny that that's actually a great thing to think about. Like, it's not that we're asking, they didn't ask you. So when we have people who are looking for information, even about a business, they're not going to necessarily ask you. They're going to ask the other people that you're with or that seem like they're aligned with you. Yeah. That's where, referrals come in. But even being able to make it even easier for them to ask you. Like if you just had your ID stapled to your forehead, they're not even going to bother to ask, right? But because it's that easy. If you have an AI tool that's that easy to engage with when I'm not there, then you've just streamlined all of it, and they're not going to go everywhere else to ask the question because you're literally there to answer it.
Well, I mean, a good example is I needed to hire somebody to fix an appliance the other day.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that every day, thankfully. I didn't really care who I hired. I wanted them to be credible and trustworthy. Mm-hmm. I didn't even care about price because I assumed if they've been in business a long time, they're going to be fair. Yeah. I mean, you're going to cost me a couple $100. I know it, such as life. It's got to be less than replacing it or nobody's going to hire them. So, okay. I went to the one that allowed me to check that off my list the fastest. Mm-hmm. That meant they had great reviews that were visible for me to see. Mm-hmm. They made it really easy for me to book a time with them. I didn't even have to talk to them. I just went on their website and booked a time that I knew that my wife or I would be home, and I was done. And I was able to check it off my list. And that's what I think so many of us miss. AI can help in that process to make it easy. Even though he didn't use AI could help him brainstorm that process. So he can go, all right, I'm an appliance repair guy. What can I do to make that process less friction, less difficult to go through? And AI could help you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we just take a fucking sidebar here too? There are so many business owners that I talk to on a weekly basis that just don't understand, like cannot grasp the concept that you have to make it easy as fuck for someone to spend money.
Yeah, like, no friction.
Like there was someone who said we only take cash or Venmo.
What?
Yeah, like Venmo business.
No.
And I'm like, you don't take ACH? You don't take credit cards? And they're like, no, I don't like the fees. Fuck it.
It wasn't about you.
Yeah. Like,
build it in, folks.
Yeah. And like, there was one where I was like, checking out their website to like see what they did and same with like their socials and shit. And it took me like 15 posts to see a gist of what it was that they do. Like, people are like, for whatever reason, have this misconception that by posting the same like idea in a video or in a post, they think that, oh, well, I posted that already, therefore no one's going to want to see it. Well, guess what? No one fucking saw it anyway. Like,
thank you.
You post once a month. They didn't see it.
Well, and or you're not consistent. I'm gonna share an embarrassing story. So I hired a new video editor yesterday, and to help me out with all of the stuff. You guys know I create a lot of content. And Parker, you've always been great, by the way. So I appreciate that. But we're going through, and I'm like, we should probably talk about. I don't do crap on Pinterest. Should we do Pinterest? Should we not do Pinterest? So we pulled up my Pinterest account. By the way, I don't do anything on Pinterest other than some automated posting. So I went and looked. I was surprised I did automated posting. I'd forgotten I did automated posting on Pinterest.
What? I have questions. Keep going.
I'd forgotten I did it. I have a tool and it connected to Pinterest, and click that too, no problem. You've never done that, have you? I mean, every business owner's done that and they've forgotten.
Yeah.
So I had almost 100 posts on Pinterest in the last 2 months. You don't want to know how many views I had? Total 0. Nobody had looked at any of them. And I want to tell you, these weren't necessarily bad. These are views that I got lots of comments on Facebook and everything else, but I put the same post there and it didn't fit that audience.
It's not the audience. Ooh, pick your platforms, people. Know what platform you belong on.
And so I'm like, never mind. Don't worry about Pinterest. We don't have to spend any time there. Not saying it's bad. Not saying we couldn't, but it even happens to those of us that do this.
Yep.
Yeah, the app came out. Oh, what the heck? Let's try Pinterest and see what happens. Totally forgot about it. Went and looked and literally 0 views. Not one.
That's insane. Like, you didn't even get like bots or anything.
No,
like,
not
that's
one.
Wow.
I'm also baffled at what, because I mean, Pinterest to me is, it's stay-at-home moms looking for cookie recipes and 75 things to do with ground beef and crafts that I can do in kids' classes. So like, that's how I think of Pinterest. In my head, I'm like, why the hell would you ever post on Pinterest? You personally ever post on Pinterest to even sit there?
It was a checkbox.
And it's something as simple as like it's knowing the audience. But it's so funny to me because we have clients come in going, well, should I be on TikTok? Well, are you making video content? Well, no. Then why the hell would you be on TikTok? Are you gonna start creating video content?
Is your audience there? I mean, Parker, you and I have had this discussion so many times. Where's your audience? Mm-hmm. My audience predominantly is on YouTube and Facebook.
Yep.
And so that's where I put most of my content because that's where most of my audience is. By the way, some of those same posts that got 0 views on Pinterest had gotten thousands of views on Facebook.
Because it was the perfect audience and it was created with that audience in mind.
Right. So that's why we need marketing companies because we've all done things like that.
All done things.
I'm sure it was 11 o'clock at night and I'm going, oh, what the heck? We'll check the box. So it's not going to hurt.
It's fine.
And it didn't hurt. Okay. It's not like it hurt my business to do it. But it had 0 value. Had that not been an automated process, had I been paying my team for the last month to go out and do that, or had some marketing agency in their wisdom said I should post on Pinterest, that would have been wasted entirely. In this case, it was an AI tool. Okay, it didn't, it was included, no big deal. But it still proves, I think, you got to pay attention to that stuff. The other thing I want to use that for is you can't just do stuff once and forget it. And AI, if you think AI is that magic bullet, that's my fear, is that you're going to do it once and then you're going to forget it. And that's not going to work. Parker, you just mentioned something so true. Growing up watching cartoons, they still had those when you guys were kids,
yes,
right? Yeah, okay.
I did.
I assume Ronald McDonald still showed up or the McDonald's.
Yeah.
We didn't see those one time on one Saturday and never see a commercial. In fact, we saw them between every
single commercial break.
There was a McDonald's commercial. And what happened? We went, Mom and Dad, I want to go to McDonald's. I want to go to McDonald's. I want to go to McDonald's. So where do kids want to go? They want to go to McDonald's. Why? Because McDonald's talks to them not once every Saturday, not once a month, once on every frickin' commercial break.
Yep. And it might even be a variation of the same one.
But it might not be.
But sometimes it's just repetitive, and that's okay. I mean, we don't want to be obnoxious about it. There is a line of like,
oh yeah, it's a balance.
If it was every single commercial on every single break, okay, that's excessive. But also, like, you have to have that repetitiveness. You have to be able to be saying the same thing over and over and over because it's not going to resonate until somebody's ready to listen.
Well, that's why when Parker said, you think, oh, but I already posted about that, or I already did a video about that, or I already answered that question. Great. If it was more than a week ago, it's probably time to do it again.
Yep.
Because like you said, on socials, it amazes me. Prime example. So my Facebook group, we've got over 200,000 people in it. Mm-hmm. There are over 1,000 posts a month that go up. I just had somebody yesterday message me because we have a very strong rule. You cannot market your business in the group. If your purpose is to get somebody to reach out to you, we're cutting you off. But every Saturday we do a post and you can comment on that post with anything you want about your business.
Love that.
Been doing it for 2 months. I had somebody email me yesterday. Jonathan, it'd be a really nice idea if we could do something special, just maybe once a week to allow people to, post about their businesses. And I'm like, for 2 months. And we get thousands of comments on these. But yet there's people that never saw that.
Yeah.
And this happens to be an active member of my group who posts daily. And he's like, Jonathan, I've never seen that.
That's hysterical.
That just proves the algorithms aren't showing everybody everything. Mm-hmm. You may feel, man, I already talked about this 7 times. Unless you had a lot of people contacting you about it, they didn't see it. Do it again.
Yeah, like it made me really sad a few months ago when someone reached out to me that's been following me for over a year saying, hey, you guys are a video ad agency, right? I'm like, no, we're not. What do you want?
What? Just
And
what do you want?
You're at the video part, right?
Yeah. I was not happy about that. And then I immediately went to my director of ops and I was like, listen, what are we doing wrong?
I would say I can refer you to a great pink marketing agency that can help you with that.
Right. Yeah.
Although I hear the owner is really obnoxious.
Of the video company or the marketing company?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Both. Okay.
So hold on. I'm going to go on a tangent here.
Oh shit.
So
I'm shocked.
How do you feel about, or what would you have to say to the agencies, or not the agencies, the people hiring agencies that think that agencies should charge less because they use AI?
Great idea. Up to the agency. So as all business owners, I think we're going to do what we normally do. There's an opportunity with AI to deliver more value to our clients. And as an agency owner, I want to do that. That may be in enhanced services, that may be in better customer response, that might be because I can't do it, so I'm just going to lower my prices. It may be a combination of those. But AI is not necessarily going to guarantee that their prices are going to be less. And it shouldn't be. It should be about ROI. Marketing should be about ROI, not if your marketing is an expense, you're doing it the wrong way.
Agree.
Marketing is an investment that should have a return on investment. And if your current agency's not giving it to you, then you should pick a new agency. And if your agency is uncomfortable having the discussion about the return on investment, and they can't guarantee stuff, folks, okay? People ask me, well, how much money am I going to make? It depends. It does depend. Because if you have an 18-year-old idiot answering the phones when people call in and want stuff.
There's so many things that go into a full sale.
You know, I haven't had it recently, but I used to have an agency. And I remember I got a call a couple years ago from somebody. It was a home service company, great company. We'd worked together for years. He goes, Jonathan, I don't know what has happened. All of a sudden, we're not getting any leads anymore. What happened? Thankfully, we tracked the leads. We went and looked, and leads were pretty stable. They'd been more or less where they'd been. They were averaging about 90 new leads a month. They'd had about 90 leads the past month. And I go, what's wrong, Parker? He goes, we didn't get a single booked call last month. What's going on? So we started listening because we have the ability. We record the first call that's made. They'd hired a new receptionist. Happened to be the owner's daughter. The owner's daughter was far more interested in doing this on her phone, if you can see my phone, was far more interested in her phone than she was answering the call. So when she'd pick it up, she was doing things like, thanks for calling ABC Plumbing. No. Okay, bye. They got all the leads. So at first he was mad. We'd been a client for a long time. He's mad. What's going on? When we were able to literally send him the recordings, he goes, okay, I'll take care of it.
And I love that his first thing was, why is it not working? Why is my marketing not working?
Right.
Did you look at the process? Did you look at what the other pieces are that went into it that are from your end? Because I can show you, here's where things are consistent.
And
happened?
a good agency can show you those things.
Yes.
If they can't, then you need another agency.
Agreed.
So to go back, is it reasonable to expect and have a discussion that maybe pricing should change? Yeah, I'd encourage you, have that discussion. But don't necessarily assume it's going to cut your costs by 50% or even 10%, because maybe instead of what you're going to do is you're going to get more attention from Alicia, because she now has more time to spend and your campaigns are going to be better and you're going to get better ROI. Yeah. That ROI is ultimately what matters. Yeah. Not whether you're saving money or not.
Yeah, and I agree. And I also think like that's kind of how I see it is, if we're using AI, then one, we don't need as many team members. So you don't have as many contacts. You don't have as many people that you have to keep track of, and you get to see more of me. That ultimately is what you want to see if I'm making the sale. That's a question I get all the time because we have such a big team now. People are like, so are you gonna be handling this, or am I gonna ever see
absolutely.
you again after this? And it's like, yeah, I'm there every single step of the way, but it doesn't look like that.
Right.
But yeah, I just think that it's AI is an adaptation tool. It's just a new way of doing business, I think, and nothing that should warrant you paying less because we're doing less work, because we're not.
Well, and I think that's really the key is if you don't feel that ROI is there. Again, nobody knows how many hours you spend on my branding project.
Nope.
You probably don't even know how many hours you spend on my branding project. But
some are harder than others.
Yes.
And sometimes those hours feel really long.
But the whole key is if I'm getting the result I want and we agreed on a rate up front, I really don't care what tools you're using to do that.
Yes.
Now, if you're cheap, I have a Dutch background, so we're in West Michigan, so I can say this, okay? I'm Dutch and German, so both of them want to be pretty efficient, okay? And I know I can squeeze a dollar, just ask my wife. If I want the lowest price, yeah, I'm probably going to have to find somebody that's using AI, but it's like everything else in life, you're going to get what you pay for. So my family just decided to buy a new vehicle. It's really exciting, by the way. We're getting a minivan. Yay! Okay.
Oh, my skin is crawling.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. We started looking around for used minivans because I don't tend to buy new cars. Till I found out that a used minivan that was 2 years old, which I would normally buy, used a third of the depreciation, hadn't dropped by a third. It was like $2,000 less than a brand new one. Everywhere I looked. So we splurged and said, well, I'm going to spend the extra couple grand and I'm just going to buy the brand new one. It wasn't the cheapest solution, but it was the best value. At least I determined it was the best value because I could buy a 2-year-old minivan with 30,000 miles on it. And it actually was a little more. It was almost $4,000 I'd save. Or I could buy a brand new one that, by the way, did have the larger LCD screen in that. It was worth almost all that much money for a tech guy. But for about $4,000, I could have a brand new one with 0 miles and full warranty. And I could make sure the oil was changed perfectly every time because I do it. And since it happens to be a vehicle that I plan on keeping for about a decade, because I don't buy many new cars, I'm like, you know what? It's $400 a year over 10 years. Fine, I'll buy the new one. That wasn't the cheapest decision I could have made. But I believe for my family, based on our values, it was the best value. And that's what I encourage you to do. When you're working with somebody, look at the best value. There's a reason, Parker, when I spoke last year, you came and did my video work because you gave me the best value. I could have hired somebody with an iPhone to have come and done that, and they could have still captured the video, not as good. They could have captured a lot of this stuff, and it probably would have cost me a lot less money. But I wouldn't have gotten the value that I wanted. And that's, I think it is with any decision we're making. As a business owner, when it comes to your marketing, ask the same questions you do when you're buying your new laptop or your new cell phone, or whatever it is that you think as an owner is the thing that you like. You buy what you want because of the value it brings to you. You didn't look for the cheapest possible one. I could have a flip phone from Walmart for about $30. It'd be a lot less than this thing. Couldn't do crap with it, but it'd be a lot cheaper.
And it would make a call, and that's about it.
Yeah. And it'd be a lot cheaper.
And I think that's where the part that comes to play when we talk about like income or the cost of something going down. Realistically, what's happening is we can add more value. We can do more with it. We can be more consistent because human error is being cut down a little bit. And then all of a sudden, maybe it's the same cost, but you are getting more face time with me. We are being more consistent. We're actually able to develop your brand a little bit more because we're able to focus on it a little bit and almost find those holes that we didn't know were there.
Absolutely.
Well, and so I'm not going to lower. I'll be honest. I'll be the first to admit I am not lowering my price because we're using AI. I'm not going to. I'm just going to increase the value in the things we bring to the table for the price that we're at.
And that's awesome because if you bought groceries lately, it costs a little bit more to do things nowadays.
It does.
So if you didn't get a 20% increase, you're probably saving money. And candidly, I know a lot of agencies are using AI to help them do that, to hold their prices stable. Not to cut prices, but just to be able to go, you know what? No pick on Meijer because they're all that way. But, I bought groceries the other day and I used to be able to look and I get a bag. I'm old. Used to be a bag was like $10 to $15. Yeah. Now I'm like 50. Okay. I got a bag for $50. Prices are going up. A lot of agencies, especially the good agencies, are looking at leveraging AI tools to deliver more value without having to come back and go, Alicia, I'm really sorry, but we got to raise all our prices by 20%.
Right. And then the higher quality second set of human eyes, those things that we know have to be there, I need to pay for those. I need to pay for that expert, that person that can do amazing things. And that includes paying for myself. Well,
and as a business, if we're talking about using it, think about that. That gives you the ability to do so though now, because I don't necessarily need 4 great people. I need 1 expert.
Yes.
And that made me cost me 150% of what a great person does, but that's still 150 versus 400%. So I still saved a bunch of money. And now I can deliver better value to my clients. I got to take care of my team, got to make sure they want to keep working with me and all that. And some days they don't. So it means we got to pay them and all those things too, you know. I can do all of that, and AI can help me. So if you're an entrepreneur watching this, whether you're a marketing agency or a manufacturer or anything, AI can help in so many of those ways to allow you to make your company a stronger company as well. And let's face it, that's important. We see lots of people struggling, and the ability to shore up your company, to make it a place that people want to work, that value that are actually going to show up and do their work. Or maybe just log in if you're doing remote stuff. That has tons of value.
Absolutely. I want to loop it back. I know one of the things that we do in every single podcast episode is we give each business owner here's your 3 things that you should do that we recommend. So let's do that from our perspective for our viewers. What are 3 things they should do or know about using AI in marketing?
Great question.
I also need these things.
I'm like,
yeah. So you got your notepad out, Parker. So first and foremost, spend $20 a month and subscribe to ChatGPT. It's $20 a month. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't be in business. Sorry. Hard truth. Spend the $20 a month.
What is seriously $20 in business world anymore?
Yeah, I mean, don't try to do the free version, Parker. So that's
is he looking over your shoulder while you're working?
No, I didn't know this till we did our prep stuff today. So the second thing is, and this is hard for us as entrepreneurs, don't get caught in the whirlwind of every new bright, shiny object in AI. Every single day, there's new apps coming out. Every single day, they're probably a copy of ChatGPT. There are exceptions, and I want to make, there's some really good notable exceptions, but it's like 1 in 100.
Sure.
So don't go, oh, I need one that's built for my industry. No, you don't.
Chances are it's based on the framework.
It's based on the same framework. It's using the same engines. It's important to understand in the background behind AI, there's 5 major engines, but Google has one of them. It sucks. Don't worry about it. By the way, if that's all you have, it's okay, but it's not as good as the others. ChatGPT, which we've all heard about, is the big gorilla. Yes. They've got the one, and almost everybody uses their engine. There's one called Claude or by Anthropic that's out there. Facebook Meta has one called Llama, and there's a very popular one called Mistral. Those are probably the 5 big ones that are out there. Virtually every AI app uses one of those engines. Regardless of the paperwork, regardless of the beautiful branding, yes, it's using one of those in the background. So start with ChatGPT. Is it the best? No, but it's the best all-around player, and it will do everything that you need to get you started, especially, Alicia, like we talked up front, if you train it. And it's not hard to do. You got questions, reach out to Alicia or me, not Parker, but Alicia or me, and we'll teach you how to do it. It's easy.
Don't reach out to me, reach out to him.
It's easy. But that's really where to get started. So spend the $20. Number 2, don't get caught with bright, shiny object syndrome. And 3, just like exercise, which sucks if you know me, I don't like it. Okay. Find something every day that you can use to ask it a question. Because if you do that after a week or 2 of doing it, you're going to find that you're using it dozens of times a day. After a couple months, you're going to find you're using it hundreds of times a day. And then you're going to run into what I run into, which is you're going to have multiple models because you're going to get told your usage is done for 3 hours.
Like you're capped.
Happens to me every day, every single day, because I'm using it constantly. You and I
even when you pay for it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's still caps.
There's still too many questions. You're done. We're cutting you off.
There is a solution around this, but that's far more technical than we want to get into today. But if that happens, we can talk about that. But yeah, those are the 3 things. So 1, start with ChatGPT and pay the $20. Everybody always asks me, should I pay for it? Yes. Period. And you can't buy even an acceptable business lunch, hardly at Taco Bell anymore, for $20.
I was going to say, we had Jimmy John's yesterday and I spent $15.
Yeah. I mean,
I could have skipped lunch and I could have my
and trust me, it's better for us all to do that occasionally. Secondly, don't get caught in bright, shiny object syndrome. It's so easy. And every marketer out there, we're all 3 in that group, is going to tell you that their product is better than everything else and it's what you need and you just spend the money. No, don't spend the money. And then 3rd, ask it at least 1 question a day. And if you're not sure, just do something simple. But I don't know if this will pick up. Let's try this real quick. I know we're tight on time.
Could I ask ChatGPT to tell me how to train it?
Well, I'm so glad that you said that, because guess where we're headed.
Oh, all right.
Well,
So we're going to try the new voice feature, see if this picks up.
Oh, this is my favorite thing
All right, so
ever.
you can talk to your phone. ChatGPT, I run a plumbing business, and I'm not sure how to use ChatGPT. Can you give me just 3 ideas of what I could use you to do for me today? It's thinking.
Absolutely. Here are 3 ways you can start using ChatGPT today for your plumbing business. 1, automating customer responses. Imagine you're too busy to answer every customer question right away. I can help you draft quick replies for common inquiries like pricing, availability, and services offered. This will save you time and keep customers happy. 2, creating marketing content. Need help writing a Facebook post, blog, or email to remind people to schedule a plumbing checkup before winter hits? I can generate that content for you quickly so you can focus on running your business. 3, drafting service estimates. If you give estimates regularly, I can help you write up professional looking ones based on job details. Just tell me what the job entails and I'll put it into a nice format for you to send to clients. What do you think? Any of these sound helpful for today?
That's great, but I'm curious, you're a new model. Why did you start adding in there all the time?
thinking.
It's thinking.
Good question. The and similar conversational fillers are part of a more natural style I can use to sound more like how people speak in everyday conversations. It's meant to feel a bit more relaxed and less robotic, which some folks prefer.
I love this.
I was thinking the same thing.
So that, by the way, just came out yesterday, that new style. The voice has been out for a long time, but the ums and all that literally just came out yesterday.
That was the first thing I noticed. I was like, wait, you don't because I was thinking about, I'm like, he's not talking to anybody. Like, he didn't call someone. Like, what the fuck?
Wow. But I love it because it feels more natural, and it actually feels more comforting. It feels less.
So you asked me for 3
over.
tips. Can I give one more?
Of course.
So use ChatGPT voice. By the way, ChatGPT is the only one that has that. And ask it to interview you to learn all of the things about your company that it needs to know in order to create content that sounds like you.
Game on. Guess what I'm doing on the drive back to my office today?
That's exactly what I'm doing right after this.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah.
But have we ever been speechless?
I don't think so.
This was amazing. Thank you so much for
I had
coming
a
in
ball.
and
This is great.
bullshitting marketing with us and ranting and raving about.
You know me well enough. I have to BS about most anything.
Perfect. Next time we'll do it, maybe not on camera. we'll just bullshit about other stuff.
Maybe over tequila next time.
Done.
There we go.
In. This seems like a terrible idea. What time?
Well, we need to go down to Alabama and do it. I told you we're moving down there.
Yes.
Because the shrimp, I don't know if you guys have ever had shrimp.
Yes.
Everybody
Huge
loves
fan.
shrimp. Okay. Now, shrimp sucks in Michigan.
It really does.
You go down there, you get it off the boat. It's like mini lobsters.
Oh, they're huge.
Oh, and it's cheaper than steak, and it's awesome.
I think this seems like a
tequila
business
and shrimp.
trip.
Yeah, I think we need to do one of these from Alabama.
Can we do this on the road? Michigan Marketing in the Morning in Alabama?
I mean,
Michigan Marketing on the road?
Yeah.
Why
There we
not?
go.
I love
think
it.
so. We'll just start popping around to different cities. I'm sold.
I love it. All right, Jonathan, where
Thank
can
you
people
so
find
much.
you?
Real simple. You want to connect with me, just remember my name, Jonathan Mast, M-A-S-T, and it's jonathanmast.com/linktree. And they can find everything they need.
Oh, that's
Perfect.
awesome. I need to start doing that.
Oh, geez.
Because, like, we have a link tree. I don't ever, like...
I really only use it for Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep. With
All
you.
right. Well, cool. So this has been episode whatever the
I don't
hell
even know.
of Michigan Marketing in the Morning. We're recording, like, three or four episodes this week, and we forgot what number that we're on.
And yet we've still yet to look it up. We didn't remember the first one.
No, I don't remember. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any questions for us or for Jonathan, more importantly, leave them below. Until next time, we'll see you guys.